All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Let's continue. So we are dealing with the progress bar here. So now that we have an actual progress bar, let me move it back a little bit. We can always grab it from there. Now I can put a very specific class here to grab this specific progress bar because maybe there are several progress bars on the page. So this one I'm going to call it, I'm going to do JS save progress, like that. So we're gonna use that to grab it. Okay, cool. So let's start from there. I'm gonna copy, and now I want to go to the save content. So let's do save. In fact, it's the send data function that I want. So this one right here, and let me go down and inspect it a little bit. So clearly there's no progress bar. We're not looking out for any progress bar here at all. So this is okay. All we need to do is copy what we have done from other versions of this. There are parts that have progress bar somewhere, so we can copy that code. So I'm just scrolling down to look for specific instances where we listen for progress, aka this one here. So I'm just going to grab this here, and let's go up to the send data function. So back to send data. So there's save content. Come on, where's send data? Okay, so send data is right here. So there's this event listener right here. Let's put our own up there. Now this one is called Ajax, just Ajax, so let's use that. So we do the progress. Now this is actually the wrong way of doing things. The progress is supposed to be in the upload version of things. So here there's Ajax, but we should do .upload add event listener. Actually, that's what I should do for all the others. So let me find all places where there's this progress here. Oh, there is .upload actually, so I just deleted it without realizing. Okay, so there we go. We go in the upload add event listener for progress, and there we go. So the progress bar we're looking for is document.query selector. Interesting. So we have to, let me change this. We're going to say JS save progress. I'm going to call the one inside inner like that, and leave the rest. I think that will work just fine. But I need to grab the parent of this and remove. Let me go right about here to switch on the progress bar. Maybe let's put all this in one place, just next to the other. I'll put this here. So just the save progress is the parent that contains this inner one. So we haven't created this class yet. I'm just putting it there for in advance. This one we have. So I'm going to say .ClassList.remove. So we remove the hide class from it so that it's visible. All right, I'm going to save that and then copy. And then we reach here where upload is complete, right? Everything went well. That's great. And then we handle the result. But at this point, I can hide the progress bar. So I'm just going to add hide. All right. That is good. Okay, great. So let's put it to the test. Let's refresh. I haven't added that inner class, so let's go back to where we have edit and the progress bar here. So this one will be JS save progress. I could use some of these, but maybe they are used before, so that's why I'm creating a new one. Okie dokie. So let's put that to the test. Here there's another section, so I'm just going to browse and add a file that I know is quite large. And let's see how that progress works. And also, before I do any of... actually, let's just watch the progress bar for now. So let's hit the save button, and there we go. Doesn't look like anything is happening. I'm sure there's an upload going on here. We just can't see the progress. Course saved successfully, and then it disappeared. Very unfortunate. And let's see if we had any issues. So inside send data, this one here could not be found. So what part is that exactly? The query selector. Okay, back to the console. This is the disadvantage of not using separate JS files, because the line numbers are all messed up because of the HTML. So it can't really tell me where the error is. But at least I know it says document.querySelector is null. So one of these is empty. So maybe it's this one, JS save progress inner. Let me try and find... Okay, there are 3 matches to this one. What about this one? Save progress, how many? 6 matches, really? Where? Ah, okay, that makes 6, I guess. Okay. So what really is the matter then? There's a class there in the edit. Hi. So why is it telling me that it can't find it? What's going on here? If it was in the progress, yeah, it is in the progress. So there's 164 errors of this. So clearly it's inside here. Style.width.percent query selector. This looks fine. So what is going on then? Okay, what about this one? This is indeed a class. Let's find it. This is interesting. Okay, let me refresh. Maybe I didn't refresh the page. Oh, there we go. Maybe I didn't refresh the page. Let's try this again. And surprisingly, this file never saved. I don't know why. Maybe it's the wrong file type altogether. Let's try again. Ah, there we go. Okay. Interesting. So the progress bar is indeed working, but it had to go backward there for a second. Okay, which is not really such a big deal, because we can fix that. But this file is not saving here, so why is that? Let me go back to... It is being saved. Oh, because it's the wrong file type. Right. This is one thing I didn't put into account. So we're not actually checking if the file is of correct type. So that's not good. We need to check that as well. So we're going to fix that in a moment. Excuse me. So here, let me duplicate this. Before we remove the hide class, we're supposed to take it back to 0. So I'm going to do .style .width. Actually, all I have to do is copy these guys over here and paste there. And put them at 0. So here we just replace that with 0, like so, and that should do the trick. And then we reveal it, and then we run our progress, and so on and so forth. And then here on the handle result function, which is down here, when we get to the save, if show any errors, if there are errors here, disable save button, let's see, clear all errors. So we clear the errors if there are any, show all errors, if typo, there's an else, here dirty is equal to false, which means everything went well. But here we should refresh the window. So I'm gonna say window dot location dot reload. Okay, so we refresh the page, that's great. Now if you're going to look at the console errors there, then you can remove this window reload so that you can see errors if there are any. But for now we don't need that. And then these are wrong file types, but it's allowing them, so we should figure that out as well. So I'm gonna come back here, let's refresh. Now let me see if I add a valid file type, if things will work as intended. So let me drag maybe this one. It's not even a valid, let's see, playable MP4 file. That's what I wanted to say. So let's save there, save, and there we go. So it's 100%. Now you may be asking, why is the progress bar a little bit slower than the actual value? That's because the bootstrap here is adding a transition so that it looks more animated like that. So don't mind that. And it has refreshed our page, which is nice. That way we get to see the video we added. And it's actually not being added here. Let's see what's going on in the database here. So nothing is changing there at all. Okay, so this is lecture 3, right? Let's see, there's lecture 3 here and the description, quite right. Lecture 4 is working, lecture 3. Why is there a problem? Section 2, right? Section 1. So because this is one section, section 1, and then there's section 2. Okay, so we have an issue there, it seems. Okay, cool. So it looks like it's nothing to do with let me delete these files. Looks like it's nothing to do with the wrong file type. It just isn't uploading at all. It's uploading the file, but it's not saving here. Okay, so let's try and debug that as well. So what I'll do now is, let's go back to the admin section here. Let's look for lecture data files here. Oh, is this one? Lecture data new files. Yes. So what I'll do here is I'll just do show. I want to see if the files are correctly put in there. So let's see that. I'll try again to upload. So for one section it works, but it doesn't work for another. So let's see why that is. Troubleshooting again. Save. Alright. So now after that, it shows us this. So we have this one here. Great. Why is it repeating itself? Maybe we're inside a loop. Let's see. Yes, we are inside a loop. Okay, so that makes sense. Okay, so the file actually is being saved here. So the thing is, it's on, this should be lecture 1. Wait, lecture 1, no, section 1, because the other one is 0, and then lecture 2. So let's see if that's true. Yeah, but I wouldn't know, unfortunately, because I really don't know here. Anyway, it's 1, 2. Let me refresh. I can know that by going to, if those values are correct, by going to one of these inputs right here and inspecting it. I should see a 1 and a 2 somewhere in the names. So it's true. That's lecture 2, curriculum 1. So I think these things are swapped. It's supposed to be curriculum lecture 2, is it? Lectures, lecture 3. Let me see here. Maybe the numbers are swapped. Yeah. Maybe I made a mistake here. Okay, so let's go up a little bit to where we're producing this thing here. It seems the numbers are correct, but maybe they are swapped. So let's go lecture data file. Sorry about that. So right there where we're creating these guys. So there's sub key and main key, right? So let's try and swap main key and sub key. Let's see that, what that does, right? So I'm gonna go back and try again. Since this change is in the PHP side, we don't need to refresh the page. So back here and open. Let's try this one out and hit save. Okay, so there's a 2 and a 1 here instead. Let's see if that did anything in the table. And surprise, surprise, it didn't. Alright, so that was the wrong call. That's not the issue. Let's save that. I think those were correct. So where really is the issue then? Where am I echoing that information? I want to remove the echo. Okay, so there we go. Let me remove this. So troubleshooting, as you can see, this is the hardest part of debugging. This is why organizing your code is very important to a level that you understand very well. And that's why using standards as well is important, so that other people reading your code can manage to debug it in future. So keep that in mind as well. Okay, so what is going on here? So if the things are good up to here, then where is the problem? So inside this loop, I presume, is where the problem is. So this part, I guess, key 2 and key 3, right? Okay, so let me undo this part, and right in here, I want to do show key 2, and then duplicate that and show key 3. So there'll be 2 times when this happens, and then I'll do show. Let's put a break tag, or let's just put something to show that this is one loop after the other. So just want to see what key 2 and key 3 are after each loop, given the information in here. That way I can decide what's going on. Okay, so back here, let's try one more time to inspect. Let's go to find a file, and let me hit save. Okay, great. So through the loop, the first time it's 0, 0, the second time it's 0, 1. Okay, that makes sense because we are looping here. And then again, through the other loop here, we have 1, 0 and 1, 1. So it never gets to 1, 2 here. It it never gets to a point where I actually need to save this information. So I guess that's where the problem is. Yeah, this makes it a little bit of a toughie. Okay. 1, 2. So this is cause for concern. Okay, I see where the disconnect here is. I have to think a little bit about it, how to solve this, because the problem is the number of files you have uploaded. When you upload the files, the number of files you upload there, it does not match the number of inputs, because sometimes you're going to ignore certain inputs. You won't put files there, sometimes you will. So there's a little bit of a disconnect there. So I need to figure out how to match these two. Okay, so for now let's leave it here. I need to think a little bit about this and where really we are going wrong. Then I can explain it in the next video, because sometimes these brainstorming sessions take a while. You may not realize the problem you are having. Okay, so there's key 2 and key 3 there, very specific, right? Looking for a file. Okay, so these numbers never get to the numbers that are inside the lectures data file there. They never get there, so that's why the problem is there, which is weird a little bit, because lecture data, that's supposed to be part of it. Okay, wait a second. Before we go out, let me see what's inside lecture data. Just lecture data there. All right. So I'm gonna mute these to avoid confusion. Let's see. Let us see what's going on. So browse there. Let's click down here and our progress bar. Okay, so there is, okay, this is fine, 4.1, lecture 4.2, and then there's this part here, it gives us this file there. Okay, so 1, 2. So 0, 1. Okay, so this is repeated because it's inside a loop. Okay. All right, so this is the problem. There's no combination of this and this that matches this and that for these guys, because once it's looping through here, these key values should match at least one of these. Yeah, so there's lecture 4, lecture 1, lecture 3, lecture 5. So this one here, lecture 3, should match this one. I guess so. It should be 1, 0 then. Yeah, because this is 0, 0, 0, 1. That makes sense. So this one should be 1, and then that should be 0. So why is it a 2 in the first place? This is where the problem is. There should be a 0 here instead, so that it goes to lecture 3. It should match this one here. So let's see. Maybe I may be able to figure it out in a minute. This was lecture 3 here. Section, this is the second section, which is 1. And then lecture 3 is a 0. So let me inspect one more time. Let's see here. Curriculum 1, okay, that's fine. Lecture, why is it lecture 2 is the question. Description lecture 2, okay. Same thing here, new file lecture 2, curriculum 1. So all this is all good, but you know what, I think I know the solution here. Let's go back here a little bit. I think the problem is the sub key. We don't need that sub key at all. So I'm gonna go, maybe we do. Maybe we do. This is a little bit complex now. Okay, I think that I know the issue here. The problem is we have two arrays where only the new files are added, and we don't have the old files to be placeholders. I think this is where the issue is going to be. So I still need to think how to fix this problem. I'm trying to scroll up here, but my mouse is all messed up. Okay, so right here is where the problem comes in. So sub key here should not exist actually. I think I can solve this problem by removing sub key so that it just comes to 0, 1 and so on. Because let me try this. If I remove sub key here and if I remove that sub key, what happens now is it's gonna work, but the problem is it will work for the first file only here. So let's see that real quick. This is not the solution. Let's see if my intuition is right. This should work here. Let's hit save. Okay, let's come back. Yeah, it has worked because this is the first item. Now the problem is what I've done here is that if I add another video here, it's going to replace this one instead, which will be a problem. I think that's what's going to happen. So I should be able to put a placeholder here to tell it the old file is still there. Now we're putting in the new file. The problem is how to know this. Alright, in a moment, let's see. There should be a solution here. Let's see what number is here. If I inspect the element here, the problem is there's a 2 here. Why is there a 2 here? I don't get what I was doing. This one is correct. Lecture 2. Is it though? This is the first lecture, so why does it have a 2? Is beyond me. Anyway, we will figure out a solution soon. I'll go through the code. So browse, let's try and add another file here. You will see that it will replace the first one. Let me re-add the same file. See that we will not have a second file here on the second section. But I may be wrong. Maybe I have solved the problem. Let's see it. And if we come back, yes, we haven't solved the problem. It's replaced this one. So it's a small kink here that I have to fix, but I'll fix it. It's supposed to know when to go. This would only work if I actually added 2 videos here. If I browse here and add a video like that, and then I browse on the second one and add a video there as well, it will work perfectly. And let's hit save. Okay, so like that, it's gonna work just fine. Let's see here. And you see there are 2 videos there. So what I need now is for it to know that when I replace this video, it should skip the first one here and know to only save on this one. But it's not doing that. So that's what I need to actually figure out. Okay, let's do that in the next video.